one of my major research interests is presidential leadership. I'm very interested in how presidents try to sell their policies to the country as a whole, using the mass media, but also going around the mass media in terms of using the social media, in terms of using public appearances. And when you look at the Obama presidency, you see something that's really very different from the way that both President Bush and President Clinton before that used the mass media. I think in many ways we can think about those two previous presidents as really very aggressive controllers of their media image. They try very hard, very effective, in fact, at least part of the time, in selling themselves and their policies to the country. What you see with Obama is an extraordinary diffidence in terms of the way that he's governed compared to those two previous presidents. When Obama speaks about political issues, or when he governs, there tends to be a little greater collaboration, a little greater efforts to try to work with other people than you saw both with President Bush and President Clinton. But President Bush and President Clinton, no doubt about it, were the center of the political universe. The conversations that we had in this country during their presidencies focused almost entirely on the issues that they emphasized and the things that they talked about. In many ways in politics, if you do not define yourself, you are defined by your opponents. And I think that one of the challenges that the Obama team has to work with in this election cycle is how to undo some of the damage of not having a more aggressive media strategy during the first term. If Obama had been clearer, had been more visible in terms of the things that he cared about and the kind of person he is, he might not have to worry about so many people thinking that he wasn't born in this country, that he isn't quote-unquote a real American, that he wasn't a Muslim, or other things that have been used against him to argue that he's not quote-unquote one of us. And so I think that that you look at the presidential media strategies and they can normally control the discourse, but Obama's choice not to be as aggressive in competing for the definition of who he is, I think it's hurt him.